On reality television, relationships are often built under pressure. Cameras capture every uncomfortable silence, every emotional breakdown, every late-night argument, and every romantic promise. But when the cameras stop rolling, that's when the real story usually begins. And right now, fans across America are asking one question about one of the newest couples to come out of the wildly addictive world of 90 Day Fiancé. Are Elise and Josh actually still together? Or has their relationship already fallen apart behind the scenes? Because over the last several weeks, viewers have noticed something strange. Social media activity shifted. Photos disappeared. Followers started analyzing body language in interviews, comments on Instagram, and cryptic posts that seemed to hint at heartbreak, betrayal, or at the very least, serious tension. Then came the moment that sent the internet into overdrive. Elise herself finally decided to speak out publicly. And what she said has only intensified speculation about what's really happening between her and Josh. For millions of Americans who follow reality television not just as entertainment, but as a cultural obsession, this story feels bigger than one couple. It taps into something deeply familiar in modern relationships: the pressure of public scrutiny, the impossible expectations created by television fame, and the emotional toll of trying to build a real partnership while strangers on the internet dissect every move you make. Fans invested emotionally in Elise and Josh because their stories seemed different at first. There was vulnerability there. There was conflict, yes, but also moments that looked authentic in a genre many critics accuse of manufacturing drama. And now, with rumors swirling and viewers divided, people want answers. Tonight, we're diving deep into everything we know so far about Elise and Josh after 90 Day Fiancé. What exactly triggered the breakup rumors? What did Elise actually say? What clues have fans uncovered online? And perhaps most importantly, what does this entire situation reveal about the emotional reality behind one of America's most talked about reality TV franchises? To understand why fans are so invested in this relationship, you first have to understand the world these couples enter the moment they sign onto a franchise like 90 Day Fiancé. Over the years, the series has evolved from a niche relationship reality show into a full-scale cultural phenomenon. The formula is deceptively simple. International couples navigate the K-1 visa process while attempting to determine whether their love can survive enormous cultural, financial, emotional, and logistical pressures. But what keeps audiences coming back season after season is not paperwork or immigration law. It's vulnerability. It's conflict. It's the deeply human fear that love may not be enough. And that's exactly why Elise and Josh captured attention so quickly. From the beginning, viewers noticed chemistry between them, but they also noticed instability. Fans debated whether Josh was emotionally ready for the level of commitment the relationship demanded. Others questioned whether Elise was ignoring obvious warning signs because she desperately wanted the relationship to work. Every episode seemed to fuel new conversations online. One moment the couple appeared deeply connected, laughing together and discussing future plans. The next moment, they were arguing over trust, communication, or priorities. Reality television thrives on emotional unpredictability, and producers understand this better than anyone. But what made Elise and Josh stand out was that their tension often didn't feel scripted. Their disagreements carried the kind of awkward realism that many couples watching from home recognized immediately. The pauses felt real. The frustration felt real. Even their attempts to repair damage after arguments felt emotionally authentic to viewers who've experienced difficult relationships themselves. As episodes aired, fan communities exploded with theories. On Reddit, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube reaction channels, viewers began dissecting every interaction between the pair. Some believed Josh was sincere but overwhelmed. Others argued Elise was carrying the emotional burden of the relationship almost entirely on her own. And eventually, the online speculation started bleeding into the couple's real-world social media behavior. That's often the turning point in modern reality television fandom. The audience no longer separates the edited television narrative from real life. Instead, fans become investigators. They monitor follows, unfollows, deleted photos, comments, timestamps, livestream appearances, and even background details in selfies. In the social media era, relationships don't simply exist publicly anymore. They exist under forensic analysis. And according to fans, the first major red flag appeared when viewers noticed that Elise and Josh seemed noticeably absent from each other's online presence. Photos that once showcased romantic moments either disappeared or stopped appearing entirely. Supportive comments became less frequent. Some fans claimed Josh appeared emotionally distant during livestream interactions, while others pointed to Elise posting messages that sounded reflective, emotional, and possibly heartbreak-related. Now, it's important to emphasize that social media clues are not definitive evidence of a breakup. Reality TV couples often intentionally avoid posting together during active seasons because of contractual obligations with networks like TLC. In many cases, cast members are specifically instructed not to reveal relationship outcomes before episodes finish airing. So silence online does not automatically mean separation. But speculation intensified because fans believed the tone had changed. And then Elise finally addressed the rumors directly. Fans noticed emotional exhaustion in her tone. There was a sense that reality television had magnified vulnerabilities that might have otherwise remained private. Elise appeared aware that millions of strangers were evaluating her choices in real time. And for many viewers, that changed the conversation from gossip to empathy. Because behind every reality TV storyline are actual people navigating emotional consequences that continue long after filming ends. One of the biggest misconceptions audiences sometimes have about reality television is the assumption that cast members immediately become emotionally detached from public criticism. But former participants across countless reality franchises have repeatedly described the opposite. Once episodes air, they relive painful experiences publicly while simultaneously facing online judgment from viewers who only see edited portions of their lives. For someone like Elise, that pressure may have been overwhelming. And experts who study reality television culture say this pattern is becoming increasingly common. Contestants and couples often enter these shows believing they can handle public attention, only to discover that internet scrutiny transforms relationships stress into something much larger. Every disagreement becomes a viral clip. Every awkward facial expression becomes a meme. Every emotional breakdown becomes content for reaction channels. In Elise and Josh's case, the public became emotionally invested in determining who was right and who was wrong. But relationships rarely operate in such simple terms. Some viewers strongly defended Elise, arguing she appeared more emotionally mature and communicative throughout the season. Others sympathized with Josh, claiming the stress of filming and public criticism likely affected his behavior. And still others argued the relationship may simply have collapsed under pressures no normal couple is designed to withstand. What complicates matters further is the unique structure of the 90-day Fiancé universe itself. Unlike scripted television, where audiences understand they're watching fictional drama, reality TV encourages viewers to emotionally invest in actual people's lives. Fans celebrate engagements, mourn breakups, and sometimes even attack cast members online over perceived betrayals or dishonesty. That emotional intensity creates enormous pressure on couples trying to survive after filming. And history suggests that surviving the franchise is harder than many viewers realize. Over the years, numerous couples from 90 Day Fiancé have struggled with fame, trust issues, online harassment, financial disputes, and cultural conflicts after appearing on television. Some relationships strengthened under public attention. Others collapsed spectacularly. In several cases, former cast members later revealed that the emotional toll of sudden visibility deeply affected their mental health and personal relationships. That broader context matters when analyzing Elise and Josh. Because even if feelings between them were genuine, reality television changes relationship dynamics permanently. Suddenly, private arguments become public property. Friends and family members may become involved in online discourse. Strangers send direct messages offering support, criticism, or accusations. And perhaps most damaging of all, couples begin navigating not only their own emotions, but also audience expectations about how they should behave. and fans are noticing every detail. Some online users believe Elise's recent comments sounded like someone trying to emotionally distance herself from a relationship that may already be ending. Others argue she intentionally left things vague because of contractual obligations tied to the show. There are also viewers convinced the pair could still reconcile privately despite current tensions. At this point, no definitive public statement appears to fully close the door on the relationship, and that uncertainty is exactly why the story continues dominating fan conversations. Social media platforms have become battlegrounds for competing theories. On TikTok, creators analyze interview clips frame by frame, attempting to interpret Elise's expressions and wording. On Reddit, long discussion threads debate whether Josh appeared committed enough throughout filming. Instagram comment sections are flooded with emotional reactions, ranging from heartbreak to frustration to outright anger. Some fans accuse the franchise of exploiting unstable relationships for ratings. Others insist viewers are overreacting to normal relationship struggles, amplified by editing. What's especially fascinating is how divided audiences remain. There are viewers who genuinely hope Elise and Josh work things out because they saw emotional authenticity between them. Those fans argue relationships are messy, especially under unusual circumstances, and believe the pair deserves privacy and patience. But another segment of the audience believes Elise's comments reveal deeper issues that may never be reparable. To those viewers, the warning signs were visible from the beginning. This divide reflects a larger truth about modern reality television fandom. Audiences don't just watch stories anymore. They participate in them emotionally, and perhaps nowhere is that more visible than in the public response to Elise herself. Many viewers have praised her willingness to speak candidly about emotional struggles rather than pretending everything is perfect for appearances. In an era where influencers and television personalities often curate idealized online identities, authenticity can resonate powerfully. Fans responding positively to Elise say her honesty made her more relatable, especially to women who've experienced uncertainty or emotional imbalance in relationships themselves. At the same time, critics argue reality stars knowingly sign up for public scrutiny and therefore should expect invasive speculation. That debate about privacy versus public accountability has become central to reality television culture, and there's also the financial and professional dimension to consider. For many reality TV personalities, visibility becomes opportunity. Brand deals, social media monetization, podcast appearances, sponsored content, and spin-off possibilities can all emerge from a successful season. But relationship instability can complicate those opportunities significantly. Public sympathy may shift rapidly, depending on how narratives evolve online. If Elise and Josh separate officially, both could face entirely different audience reactions depending on how viewers interpret the breakup. One person may emerge with increased public support, while the other faces criticism. That imbalance can affect future media opportunities dramatically, and networks understand this dynamic very well. Reality television today is no longer just programming. It's ecosystem storytelling. Drama unfolds simultaneously across episodes, podcasts, social media platforms, interviews, reaction videos, and fan forums. The conversation never truly stops. That's why even relatively vague statements from cast members can ignite major headlines. And Elise's decision to finally address the rumors publicly guaranteed intensified scrutiny moving forward. Still, amid all the speculation, one important fact remains. Only Elise and Josh truly know the current status of their relationship. Fans may analyze clues endlessly, but edited television and curated social media snapshots can never fully capture the complexity of real emotional dynamics. Relationships survive things outsiders assume are impossible, and sometimes relationships collapse despite appearing healthy publicly. What viewers are witnessing now may simply be two people trying to navigate overwhelming circumstances, while the internet demands definitive answers before they're emotionally ready to provide them. And perhaps that's why the story resonates so deeply with audiences across America. Because beneath the reality TV spectacle lies something profoundly human: uncertainty. The uncertainty of whether love can survive pressure. The uncertainty of trusting another person completely. The uncertainty of trying to build a future while millions of strangers debate your relationship online. Elise and Josh's story may be unfolding on television, but emotionally, many viewers recognize pieces of their own experiences inside it. That emotional identification is what transforms reality television from disposable entertainment into cultural conversation. People see heartbreak, hope, miscommunication, vulnerability, fear of abandonment, fear of failure, desire for connection, and those emotions remain compelling regardless of whether cameras are rolling. As the situation continues developing, fans will undoubtedly keep searching for clues. Every interview, every post, every public appearance will likely generate new speculation about whether reconciliation is possible or whether the relationship has already quietly ended behind closed doors. But perhaps the more meaningful question isn't whether Elise and Josh are still together right now. Perhaps the bigger question is what their story reveals about the emotional cost of turning real relationships into public entertainment in the digital age. Because in today's media environment, breakups no longer happen privately. Healing no longer happens quietly. Every emotional moment risks becoming viral content. And for reality television couples, the line between authentic love story and public spectacle grows thinner every year. For now, Elise has spoken out. Fans are listening closely, and the conversation surrounding this relationship is far from over. If you've been following Elise and Josh's journey on 90 Day Fiancé, what do you think is really happening behind the scenes? Do you believe the relationship can survive the pressure of reality TV fame, or were the warning signs there all along? Share your thoughts and perspective in the comments below. And if you enjoyed deep dive coverage into the stories dominating American entertainment culture, celebrity relationships, and reality television headlines, stay tuned for more investigative breakdowns as this story continues to unfold. What makes stories like this so fascinating to American audiences is that the relationship itself eventually becomes larger than the television show that introduced it. At first, Elise and Josh were simply another couple entering the unpredictable universe of 90 Day Fiancé. But over time, viewers began projecting much deeper conversations onto their relationship. Conversations about trust, emotional maturity, modern dating culture, fame, insecurity, and even the psychological pressure created by social media itself. And once that happens, the audience stops watching passively. They start choosing sides. That shift became incredibly obvious after Elise's recent comments began circulating online. Across TikTok, YouTube reaction channels, Facebook fan groups, and Reddit discussion threads, viewers immediately split into competing camps. Some insisted Elise was subtly confirming the relationship had ended. Others argued she was simply being honest about temporary struggles that every serious couple experiences. But what's remarkable is how emotionally invested people became despite having access to only fragments of the real story. That emotional investment is not accidental. Reality television producers have spent years perfecting a formula designed to create parasocial attachment. Viewers feel as if they personally know cast members. They recognize speech patterns, emotional habits, insecurities, fears, and relationship dynamics. Over time, audiences begin interpreting these people less as television personalities and more as individuals within their own social circle. That psychological connection is one reason franchises like 90 Day Fiancé remain so successful year after year. But it also creates a dangerous environment for the couples involved. Because once millions of viewers become emotionally attached to a relationship, every disagreement transforms into public discourse. And according to fans analyzing Elise